Hello, everybody. It's Steve. This is going to be the last part of my Rotary in-ground lift series. I had a gentleman contact me on my YouTube channel. He's thinking about putting in acquiring older Rotary semi-hydraulic lift himself. So this is my garage at home. Um, I don't have high ceilings in here, but I had to make some arrangements to make it more accessible for a lift. And as you see, I did some carpentry work here to accommodate what I had to do. And it's just a regular homeowner, typical garage uh, with a 7-foot door. You can't get a big truck in here. It's a basic two-car garage. I would say I call it a car and a half. It's not the biggest garage. I use it for storage and things like that. And so this is my garage at home, and my air compressor, of course. Um, but yeah, this is what powers my lift. It's a Sailor Beal, and like I said, I think I got about nine foot ceilings with the beam I put up here. I had to beef it up with the 6x6 post, and did that. But I'm gonna give a demonstration on my lift since I'm here. I'm gonna give you a demonstration since it's quiet around here today. There's not a lot of people, and I got the lift already set. The pads are set, so I'm going to be able to lift this car pretty much all the way up to the ceiling. Um, this is a Hyundai Elantra. It's an older '06 model, and pretty much this is a Frank Paul 46 fully hydraulic lift. Researched it to 1983 model, last of the American Steel from the American Steel plants. So here's how I installed the lift controls right here on the wall, and it's a hodgepodge. I'm sorry, with stuff here. Um, my air line is right here, runs along the wall from my air compressor. I went down from 3/4 to 1/2 inch, and I put you know, a lockout valve here to lock out the air to the air controller here. I did put a gauge on this lift, so I know how much air is in here, which I just pressurized the tank. Tank's out back. There's an oil tank that's got 48 gallons of hydraulic oil in it. And this is the oil valve with the red handle. And what I did was I came through the wall with it from the oil tank, and it goes into the ground right here, 1.25 inches. I did put a ball valve on here to lock this thing out. It's another safety feature I put on this lift. And so here's the oil line, new oil control valve. It was about $340, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood. This here was about, I don't know, just under $100, I think. And I got the muffler with it, so I put it down here to drain the. When I drain the whole air system out, at the end of the day or whenever I'm done using it, I can open this valve up and drain the system out of the air tank without making a lot of noise and pissing off my neighbors. So we're gonna go out in the back. I'm sorry about the mess. This is the oil tank right here. This is the oil tank for this lift. This was in the ground. It was buried since 1983, and as you see, the air line coming out of the wall from that valve, control valve, and I have another lockout valve here. Comes up, goes into the tank next to the oil fill valve where you fill the oil at here. I think that's 1.5 inches right here, if I'm not mistaken. This is 1/2 inch, and then the oil comes out of here in the bottom, comes out of the bottom of the tank. I put a ball valve there. I just got a little crazy with the ball valves, but you know what? When you have grandkids around here, you just don't want to take chances with kids playing with stuff. So we're gonna raise the car up so you can get an idea how this lift works. I'm gonna pressurize the system, which I pretty much already did, and then I'm gonna pull the control valve right here, the oil valve, and there goes the car up in the air. And I can stop it, let go of I can let go of this oil valve at precise control. Car's going up. I release the valve, stops on the dime. So here we go. Car's going up. Pressurize the tank some more. Open the oil valve. Air compressor comes on. Car's going up, 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 and away. So it's just about up where the lift control is. The lift lock is right here on the round rotor leg. And I can walk under my car, give you a better view of my garage. So you can see, sorry about the noise, folks, but I want you to be able to see how this looks up in the air. And as you see, when I put this lift in, the piston casing is about an inch below the cement in the floor. I did that on purpose. That way, if I ever had to abandon this lift, this is take the this thing off, the superstructure. I can put cement over it and be done with it. No one would know. So, so here we are in front of the car in my garage. This is just a basic 2-car garage in my subdivision, and I was able to rescue this lift. I was told, about 35 years, doing nothing. The man that owned it was in his 90s. I think he was 96 years old, and he sold the property to a developer. And I was watching it for about 3 years because I knew it was the property was for sale. It's a strip mall now, but he retired, and this lift sat in the ground on his property doing nothing. I mean, literally nothing. And he told me it leaked a little oil in the seal. And being in Florida, you get the sand down here. It's everywhere. It got into the seal, and yeah, it was leaking a little bit. So I replaced the seal, and got it from a company out in Batavia, Illinois. And they sold me the new rubber seal that goes around here, and I did a video on replacing it. It's about $110 with shipping from the company. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this lift project I did. I had someone talk to me about a lift that they are looking at inquiring, and so I just want to make another video on this real quick. I have this on the flat pads right now because in order for this thing to get to the ceiling, top of the ceiling, its car's got to be on. It's got to be flat. So that's my garage. I got about a 9.5 foot. I think I got about 9.5 feet to the top up here. So, but I just wanted to give you an idea about this lift, and show everybody if since there was some interest in the videos I made. Um, it can be done. It's easy to do. It's just a lot of digging. That's the hardest part of doing it. Getting this thing loaded on a trailer, cleaning up the piston casing, piping this thing. Being it's fully hydraulic, this is an 1.25 inch piping, which I replaced from the control bottom of this oil control valve here. New piping. I think I got about $100 in piping, I think, involved in this project, and new controls here and here. And I did put a pressure gauge on this, so I know how much air pressure is in the tank. It's rated for 200 psi. The tank is rated for 200, and I don't think anybody's ever put a pressure gauge on their lift system, but I did that so I know if I have leaks, if I'm losing air. Um, that tells me something if I'm losing air. If I'm losing air, then I didn't do my job properly when I installed this lift, and or over the years as it ages, um, you'll know if you have an issue with it. So it'll tell you. But up north, I know guys that have used on their lifts when they do the installs. They've used copper tubing on the semi hydraulic units because the oil is inside the piston. You fill it from the top of the piston, and I think that holds like 35 gallons, if I'm not mistaken. If it's a semi hydraulic unit. Um, I know my dad has used copper tubing in one of his old lifts because the piping and the threads rusted out. It was an old lift, so it was put in the 1930s, I think. It was a double post globe. So with this lift here, and the reason why I like this lift so much is because the oil valve, I have precise control. It won't This lift won't go shooting up through the ceiling. Um, I have precise control, and that's what I like about the fully hydraulic system. I know they're new. There's a company in DeKalb, Illinois that builds globe lifts. They're the only company left out there that makes in-ground lifts. Old school, I call them. Company called SVI International. I know they build the old school globe lifts, and I know they wrap the piston casings with fiberglass. It's an option. Those lifts right now are going for about $12,000 new because of the cost of metal and things like that. So again, I just cleaned this lift up and got it installed. It took me about a year from the time I acquired this lift to the time I got it into the ground and tested it and got it up and running and so on. And this lift has saved me probably $2,000 between the three vehicles I own. So just in repairs that I've done myself, if I had to pay someone to do it. So I'm going to let the air out of the system. So you're going to get to see the car come down. I'm going to exhaust the control valve right here. I'm going to exhaust the air and then open up the oil valve once the air bleeds out. I'm going to open the oil valve now. And here it comes going down. What goes up must come down. There's one moving part on this lift, and that is it. And I sent Rotary a photograph of this lift, and they sent me a sticker, a Rotary sticker from Madison, Indiana. Somebody from the Rotary company reached out to me and saw one of my videos and sent me a sticker for a Rotary. I think it's for an above ground lift, but it's up here. I got it up here over the lift. So my shout out to Rotary Lift in Madison, Indiana. Thank you for that. That's cool. They're not a sponsor of this video, but they did send me that, and that was nice of them to do that. So, but thank you. And if you have any questions, get back to me. There's nothing wrong with these old school lifts. They're good units. If they're installed properly, they'll last you 100 years, I think. This thing probably weighed 4,000 pounds once we got it off the trailer on the three furniture dollies. Um, the thing was heavy, but we got it in the ground, dug about an 8.5 foot hole, poured some cement on the bottom once we got the thing in the ground to level it and then fill it in. And it was a fun 1 day project getting it in the ground. Okay, thank you, folks, and thank you for your time today. And if you have any questions, hit me back. Thank you.